The buttons are very firm and stiff. I've not cleaned this unit at all. This is how it came. Very nice. Very nice shape. No yellowing. And something interesting I recently learned, which I did not know until very recently. Right here, the AV cable jack. Right there. Now it turns out it is the same AV cable jacks that the GameCube and the N64 all use. So I'd picked up a S-video cable for my GameCube a couple years ago. A very nice, thick, curved monster cable with S-video from the local game store. $5. Very high-grade cable. So I just slapped that bad boy into this thing, and I'm playing now Super Nintendo with S-video. Maximizes the quality. Very, very nice. Looks very nice on the projector for sure. I picked this up with the 2 games and these 2 awesome controllers here. Very nice shape. $60 Canadian, which is, if it's US, it's like $4. Pretty much. There it is, look at that. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Yeah. Yes. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Look at that. There's that one. And I'll show you the other one here. I'm sure you're all fascinated. Absolutely fascinated. Look at that. Ooh. The D-pad's real nice. They're both very nice. I fired up some Street Fighter and was doing perfect Hadoukens and all these things. Shoryukens. Trigger buttons, very responsive and all that. Feels very good. Really happy with the deal I got, for sure. The douche cut open the box there and stuck it into this here video rental case. Game of instructions, a little beat up there on the top there. A little beat up on the bottom. But looks pretty good inside. Pretty damn good condition cartridge there. Don't know how the auto zoom is in this camera. And here is a nice close-up of the retro Zone PowerPak. Very nice looking device, very professional looking. Looks a lot like their other production carts they make, such as the World Challenge and whatnot. Its form factor is designed to fit in both the Super Famicom and the Super Nintendo. It's got the tabs here, the missing slots, so it fits in a Super Nintendo, and the proper shape to fit in a Super Famicom, so no compatibility issues there. It is branded as being Retro Zone. I found the item on the Retro USB website under the Developers Tools section, which is kind of an awkward place to put it, I think, although it is obviously an excellent device for developers. But I actually had to search Google to find it. I didn't see it. I didn't even think to look in that section when I wanted to buy this thing. And it takes compact flash, which is this. The README said they use compact flash because it's fast access, I suppose. So you stick that in there on the top after you first load it up with your ROMs and saved files and whatnot. And that's it. You shove it in there. I'm gonna stick it in. Oh yeah. It clicks into place. It's a little hard to fit in a Super Nintendo. It's a little you gotta line it up just right because of course it's got the Super Famicom shape to it, so it's not exactly as firm as a real Super Nintendo cartridge. But yeah, it works very well. The insides feel a little loose, a little bit loose. I don't think you can hear it, but I can feel the guts move around just a bit. Not as bad as some old Nintendo cartridges that we've all seen that has where the guts flop around like a hooker after I've stabbed her a few times. You know what I'm saying? We've all been there. Now, the Super Nintendo was designed to very easily allow for upgrade chips to be put into the cartridge, so developers could enhance the abilities of the machine to make better games in the future without having to come up with a new console. Most of you probably heard of the Super FX chip, and that is actually not supported with this device. So if you want to play Star Fox or Stunt Race FX or Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, you're going to need to have the real cartridge to play on the Super Nintendo. This does support the DSP chip, and that supports many games, including Pilot Wings, Super Mario Kart, and some others. Very conveniently, the Retro USB website, they do provide a comprehensive file list, an incompatibility list of all the games that will not work on this thing. And the list is quite small, really. There's probably, I forget, but I looked at it, it was probably around 30 games or so that don't work. A good majority of them, some Japanese ones that I don't even know what they are. And yeah, so most of the ones that you'd want to play will work with this thing. And a few that won't, you can grab the real cart, which to me definitely adds value to those carts. Personally, could care less if I ever play Star Fox, but if I did, I would happily use an emulator. I don't care about the cart for that. I have no desire to play Stunt Race FX. I think the game is shit. And just a few others. This thing supports 128 megabits of memory. What that means is it has enough memory to play every Super Nintendo game that has been released. So I loaded the ROMs with the compact flash with ROMs and save files. And we're going to fire one up here. Going to load up a great game. Legend of Zelda. You click actual code, same as the cartridge, running on the native hardware. So it plays perfectly. There's no incompatibilities or anything, or funny sounds or anything. So there's my guy, my character. Now what we're going to do, we're going to reboot it here. Power off, power on. And we're going to load up again. Since the game was saved to the memory before, the equivalent of the battery RAM, this device keeps that saved data for the next time you play. And there it is. There's my guy. Now the next thing you do, if you hold the power button for 5 seconds when you're done playing, you want to save your save data to the compact flash card because you can only keep one game on there at a time. This menu will come up after 5 seconds of holding the reset button. Now you choose your save file. Pick any save file that you choose, the save file for your Zelda game. And then you hit A, and it will overwrite the save file with the new save data. So you can load that next time you want to play when you load the game. You can load a Game Genie code from a text file. You can put a text file with up to 5 codes on there and load them. Or you can enter your own game codes manually if you're insane. You want to have that original experience, that feel of using a real Game Genie, I suppose, but clearly the best way is to arrange your cheats in a text file. This is a cool thing, people, to use with this. Japanese games that have been translated to English by hackers. There's Dragon Quest 1 and 2. That's pretty cool because they were originally for the Nintendo, the NES. And then in Japan, they were ported to Super Nintendo on one cartridge with enhanced graphics and sound. Final Fantasy 4 and Final Fantasy 6. This is in the US, they were Final Fantasy 2 and 3. The translators have translated them to English from Japanese because there's to make the translation more authentic to the original Japanese version and not the commercial English version that we had. Ah. Whoa. How good is that sound? That sound gets me hard. Turn it up here. Oh yeah, drop-in loads. That's good times. Another interesting difference with the Japanese version, this here Final Fantasy IV, our Final Fantasy II, is Cecil as a Dark Knight has an ability, I forget what it's called, but it drains, I believe, half your life, 50% of your remaining life, and it nukes the entire screen full of enemies for quite a lot of damage. Naturally, as your HP goes down, half becomes less and less. And they completely removed that ability from the US version. Unfortunately. Now here, I'm glad they killed those rotten Mysidians. Those Mysidian bastards. I'm glad Cecil and the Red Wings did that. The Red Barons. Those Mysidians are a bunch of scum. Now we're going to load Dragon Quest. Fire up some Dragon Quest 1 and we'll pop that in and play some of that. It's not a walkthrough, playthrough, review, anything like that. It's just me showing you the Power Pack badly so you can see what it looks like. What's up, guys? Check out this here Dragon Quest. Originally only for the Nintendo, these Dragon Quest 1, 2, 3, and 4. But in Japan, they got a nice 6-bit upgrade port of 1 and 2 on one Super Famicom cart. I would have loved to have had this back in the day. I never did defeat Dragon Quest 2 originally, but I did defeat Dragon Quest 1, 3, and 4. But number 2, I got stuck, and I didn't have the power, Nintendo power. So I didn't know where to go, and there was no internets. So, and I had no walkthrough, so, you know. So I quit. But I defeated 1, 3, and 4, so that's pretty awesome. There's my guy Peenan. I meant to put penis, but I accidentally put Peenan for some dumb reason. Another nice upgrade this game has. In the original Dragon Quest 1, you'd have to push A to open your menu, and then A to open chest. In this game, you can just press X, and that does it. It'll open a chest. Same thing for talking, and same thing for going up and down stairs. Used to be you'd have to face a guy, hit the A button, open the menu, hit A again to talk, and then it would talk to him. Well, now you can just face the person and hit X. Basically a generic interact button. Opening doors there, just hit X. Again, you have to bring up the menu, so that one upgrade makes it quite a lot more playable of a game, I must say. Let's see if we can't go out there and kill a slime over here. Rotten slime bastards. Always fun to kill slimes. Oh yeah, here's the red one. Die, bitch. Ugh. Fuck.